Yes, sir.
What would you explain to us what your position is on the illegal immigration issues that keep plaguing them?
Well, illegal immigration, the biggest problem we have is that we think that they all come from the Mexican border, and they don't. Our biggest problem is the northern border, the Canadian border. So you can build all the fences and all the walls along the southern border, and you're still going to end up with the same problem. Most of your terrorists, your drugs, your biggest problems come from the Canadian side. Now, I'm a firm believer that we should deport anybody who has committed a crime. But I'm troubled with the fact that we have many who have lived here. Their kids have come here when they were 2 or 3 years old, have gone through our entire school systems, and now are being told that they're not Americans and they have to leave. And there was a case of a police officer, I think in Arizona, who had actually been given the name of his cousin who had died, who was here legally. He went through school, college, was a police officer. Somebody in the family must have gotten a ticket because they turned him in and said, he isn't Carlos, he's Ferdinando, and he's not a legal American, so they stripped him of his badge and sent him out of the country. I don't think that's what we want to do. I do think we need to tighten security, and I do think that we need to stop allowing him in. I also think from an immigration standpoint, we ought to go back to the way we used to allow immigrants in. We had a rep named David Feng who stood on at the well at the State House, and what he said was he was part of the Chinese freedom fighters. And when he came to America, they actually forced him to prove that he had some kind of a trade, that he could support himself. And then they put him through all these medical tests to make sure he wasn't ill, so we weren't paying all these medical costs. And he proved all of that, and then they let him in. And he stood on the floor as a naturalized American citizen and said, what's wrong with this country is you're letting all the sick people in, all the people who don't have any way of making their money, and then you're all mad at everybody. So I think we need to go backwards in some cases and be a little more concerned about who we let in. I think when you commit a crime, I think we ought to deport you, but there are 12 million illegal immigrants in the country. And while they say, let's put them on a bus and bring them to the border, we don't know which border to bring them to. And Mexico's not going to take them because a lot of them are from Guatemala, Peru, Brazil. It's a huge problem, but I don't have the easy answer. But I do know that we need to make it a lot tougher right now.